Hello and welcome back to Justice for Olivier Panis. The F1 1997 season is 7 rounds in, and Jacques Villeneuve increasing his lead over Schumacher at the top. Those two very comfortably 1-2 at the minute. Seems hard to think that it'll change anytime soon, but you never know, hopefully we can. After our heroics in Canada, we move third over Frentzen, and we're looking to try and break away from that pack behind us and see if we can disrupt the top two. We've got to keep the consistency up. In the Constructors, it's pretty much a carbon copy of the drivers except for their respective teams. Williams comfortably first, Ferrari comfortably second. We start to move a little bit clearer in third ahead of Benetton, but we're certainly not clear of them yet. And round 8 brings us here to the world's oldest Grand Prix, first run in 1906, and the reason we call major motor races today Grand Prix. Yes, it is the French Grand Prix. Grand Prix is French, by the way, in case you didn't know. Held here at Magny-Cours from 1991 to 2008, this circuit didn't typically give banging races. It was usually quite processional most of the time. However, if the weather turned halfway through, as it sometimes did, then you'd have an interesting race on your hands. But at the very least, it's at least a fun track to drive. At least I enjoy driving it anyway. Obviously, coming to this round in 1997, there was a slight change-up, so with Panis breaking his legs at the previous round, he was out for the next 7 races, and Jarno Trulli made the move to take his seat. He was in his first season at Minardi at the time, and he was seen as something of a hot prospect, so people would have been watching this move with interested eyes. Now, interestingly, this track also played a part in Panis' recovery, so when he was well enough to get behind the wheel of a car again, he came to Magny-Cours, and he basically said, if I can't take turn 1 flat, I'm not returning. Because to him, that meant the accident had got in his head, it'd given him the fear, and if he couldn't take the corner flat out, there was no point in coming back. And obviously, he could take the corner flat out because he did return. It's just a shame that, Prost was the team he was returning to. Now, as ever, charity predictions are still ongoing. You can find out what they are and how to get involved in the description below. And Racing di Milano's charity challenge about beating my qualifying times in Monaco and France. Well, Monaco's is on the board. I'm obviously going to put my time on for the French Grand Prix in qualifying next. So I'll talk more about that in the next round. But what I want to talk about this round is the charity itself. Last season, what I did was pick a charity related to the driver we were playing as, which was John Lacey. This season, I said I'd do the same again with either Panis or Prost. However, as much as I like this channel to be something of a bit of escapism, maybe a bit of a time capsule as well, but going back in time, there are some things you can't ignore. And obviously, I think we've all seen what's happening in Ukraine. And I think the very least that we can do is try and help those affected in some way. So while I've not picked a specific charity, the money in the charity pot will go to either Ukrainian refugees or Ukrainian citizens who've been affected by the war. It's the very least that we can do, and I think it's the right thing to do. Oddly enough, at the same time I was thinking about doing this, and I'd not told anyone yet, Simon Core, friend of the channel, messaged me and basically suggested the same thing, and I thought, yeah, I think that settles it. It's what we should do. So I will pick a specific charity close to the end of the season, but that's the cause. Qualifying for the 1997 French Grand Prix, pole position was taken by Michael Schumacher, 2/10 clear of Heinz-Harald Frentzen in second. Ralf Schumacher was an excellent 3rd place in the Jordan, and Jacques Villeneuve was in 4th. Eddie Irvine grabbed 5th, and in 6th, it was an excellent debut performance in the Prost for Jarno Trulli. Trulli has long been known as a one-lap specialist. Many drivers and team bosses, I think, said he was always so impressive over 1 lap, and 6th place, first time in the Prost. Amazing result for their home Grand Prix. And to be fair, I think they had a little bit more pace anyway that weekend, because Shinji Nakano was 12th, which was much better than some of his previous results as well. The real pole time was a 1 minute 14.5, but in game, it is about 6 seconds quicker, looking at 1 minute 8 to 1 minute 9. And this is another one of those tracks where the AI are really quick. As we've always seen, those long sweeping corners, multi-apex corners, they always just seem to carry the speed through. Yeah, there's a couple of those here, and they absolutely tan it through those corners. So I'm anticipating a tough session for us, but I'm still going to put Trulli 6th place as the target, because obviously we want to try and match what Trulli did or better it, and we want to kind of stay near the points anyway because we've started good form. I want to try and close the gap to the top 2, not constantly be in the battle for 3rd. It's a really awkward start to the lap with this final chicane, then tight final corner. The start-finish line is right there, so the time starts early on the straight. Not exactly the best way to kick off through the gravel, but here we go. Here's one of those long multi-apex corners I was on about. Estoril. Gravel, not great. To be fair, a 1 minute 11.9 though, it's still a long way away from 1 minute 8, but considering what I've been doing in practice, for a messy first lap isn't too bad.
The sky's beginning to darken, and if I look up from the commentary box, I can see quite a few clouds overhead now.
Don't worry, it's going to be a race against time. Ooh. Well, it's an improvement. 9/10 quicker than our previous best. Yeah, I think in the race, essentially, turn 3 Estoril is going to be an issue. Need to keep it tight in there, because if we go too wide, cars are just going to nick up the inside and take places off us. It's, I think, where we're losing time on this lap. Adelaide hairpin, I think, is a good place for us to regain some time, as is the next one, which I think is called Nürburgring. So here we can flick through. Ooh. We can flick through and gain time, he says, losing time. The follow-up corner 180 again is going to be a struggle. I think through Imola, this is Imola, by the way. Again, we can gain some time. And then it's quite a tough section. Again, another long sweeping corner into what is a fiddly final few corners. We are going to be constantly pushing the whole track limit situation there. The best route through that final complex is to pretty much always have 2 wheels well on the curbs. Oh. On the whole, that was generally quite a good lap. And that final section has now ruined the end of that one and the start of this one.
He's slower than the leading time at split 1, but improving on his own lap time.
Such a messy Estoril, yet it's quite a quick sector 1.
It's very much a skill from the head, not from the heart. But out on the track today, we're seeing some really passionate performances.
It's got worse as it went along, and maybe that is a sign that the grip is finally starting to go.
Down into first.
Started to get consistent towards the lower 1 minute 11s. Which is good for me, but when the pole times are 1 minute 8, nah. My only hope is that for once, it's not Villeneuve or Schumacher on pole. Villeneuve is on pole, Schumacher is second. Gerhard Berger third, great for him. Irvine fourth, Alesi fifth, Frentzen 6th. 11th. That's where it gets us. Very clear. Usually Nakano's around there. He's back in 15th. Okay, I suppose that's not too bad. Just outside the top 10. It could have been a lot worse. So, in the real 1997 French Grand Prix, it was a fairly comfortable win for Michael Schumacher. As I mentioned, this was one of those processional races for the most part. It was quite boring, quite uneventful, until the weather changed. A thunderstorm basically hit towards the end of the race. Some parts of the track were wet, some weren't. Many people tried to stay out on slick tyres and spun, including Schumacher himself, but he still won by 23 seconds, so that's how comfortable a win it was for him in the end. Frentzen managed to finish second, Irvine third, and Villeneuve fourth. Trulli, he faded to 10th in the race and ended up finishing 2 laps down. Now, typically, if we weren't trying to get ourselves up to those top 2, I would take Trulli's 10th place as the target, because I think, you know, we're starting 11th. We're not going to be quick here, or as quick as we have been in other circuits. But we need to try and keep pace, or at least hold on to 3rd. So again, points finish, please. See if we can make the moves early, get a good run into turn 1, maybe up to the Adelaide hairpin, make some places there, and then hopefully, after lap 1, hold to what we get. 2 McLarens in front of us, 2 Saubers behind us. Let's go. Oh, I revved the engine early to try and give us a slightly better start. It's been a weakness, but we lose a place. However, into turn 1, need to get Estoril right. Oh dear, see what I mean? They just hold it so well, and I've hit the grass. Oh no, and the chance to make places up at the Adelaide hairpin has disappeared already because we're so far back. Get a good run through the hairpin though. We might be able to pick up a place here. Back to where we started, back past Herbert. Come on, run out of Nürburgring. Maybe, no. Can't see what the gain is through Imola. Oh, interesting. No. Crying out loud, another golden opportunity wasted. Come on. I was getting my line through Estoril towards the end of qualifying really well. It's all gone wrong at the start of the race. And they were bunched up. That was another golden opportunity wasted.
The race leader, Michael Schumacher, in second position, Williams number 1. In third position, Gerhard Berger. In fourth place, Heinz-Harald Frentzen.
Okay. No time to panic just yet. I might be able to reel them in.
Well, it's dry at the moment here. I don't like the look of those black clouds gathering up.
Still messy, but at least for the first time, not on the grass.
We're seeing that the tail end teams have had to sharpen up their act and spend longer making sure they can do competitive time. This means the gap between the qualifying time from the front to the back of the grid.
And the gap is closing.
Christ. Yeah, not surprising I've lost all that time. So messy. Could have been worse.
Berger. In fourth place, Heinz-Harald Frentzen. In fifth position, Mika Häkkinen.
I'm just expecting a Sauber lunge at any point. I really am.
You can see shadows on the track now.
Oh! It's very rare. We have not seen that many failures. But that's a Ferrari. Whose Ferrari is the question? We haven't gained a place from that, have we? So, was that Ferrari already behind us? That's disappointing. I was hoping it might be a dramatic blowout for Schumacher and we get one place closer to the points. Sorry I'm not commentating much. I feel like I really have to concentrate just to do any lap that's anywhere, yeah, exactly. Yeah, to try and do a lap that's anywhere near consistent, I just... Dear me, the struggle is real. Come on, come on. The time we can gain in that second sector is amazing. It's just the rest of the lap is absolutely poop. Also, while we've seen rain a few times, mainly in qualifying or towards the end of a race, we've yet to see it affect a race. It's never been a wet track where, you know, it's a wet race. Every race has started dry. We could do with maybe 1 or 2 wet races just to help us out, because it proved a great leveler in the last game. Could do with that help in this one, but it just feels like we're not going to get it at the minute. I think those mistakes on laps 1 and 2 at Estoril essentially decided it. If we'd maybe had been closer to the back of the pack coming up to Adelaide, I could have gotten into a point scoring position in those first 2 laps and held it. But as it is, key mistakes and inconsistency, as demonstrated, mean once again, as in Spain, we come home without any points. It's a tough homecoming for Panis and Prost. 9th place it is. So best lap a 1 minute 10.7. So I was going quicker in the race than in qualifying. And again, if I could have found that in qualifying, better start. It's days like that that make the difference. I wasn't great, but I could have gotten points then. It's about how you deliver on the tough tracks, not just the good ones. And there is the confirmation. Michael Schumacher wins from Jacques Villeneuve. Gerhard Berger is 3rd. Frentzen 4th. Fisichella 5th. Mika Häkkinen 6th. McLaren have finally joined the party and scored some points. I'm actually genuinely very happy for them. Look at who it is at 1st and 2nd. This is how it changes the standings. To be honest, not very much. Yes, Villeneuve does have his lead shrunk a little bit, but not by very much. We hold on to 3rd, but Frentzen is 1 point behind us again now. Irvine and Lacey both miss out on points today, so they stay where they are. So in the Constructors, Williams have their lead cut, but they are still looking pretty comfortable, 26 clear. We hold on to 3rd. Benetton shut the gap on us, but we've got a bit of a cushion. Hopefully we can kind of repel them. Jordan scores some more points, and McLaren, lovely to see you on the board, guys. We finally have 6 Constructors having points after 8 rounds. So it wasn't the homecoming we wanted for Olivier Panis. Quite a tough day, and I'm annoyed because I think I could have done better than what we ended up with. But up next is a track I'm very confident about. Silverstone, the British Grand Prix. Won here with Alesi in the pre-season test. We were quick here last year with Alesi in the Ferrari. I think we could be in the points and in for another good result here. But let's just get the results. Let's just do what we can. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate support with this series and the others on the channel. Remember, we're going through Gran Turismo 3 at the minute. We are doing Newman House Racing, and yeah, I'll be doing some new things as well once those series come to an end. So thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you for another video very, very soon.